All right, here this morning with A&M-Commerce head golf coach Dr. Louie Bledsoe. And Coach, we're getting ready. We're into the spring season now, and one of our favorite events is always going up to Tanglewood, and got the opportunity to go up there with the guys last week. The girls coming up this weekend. Kind of talk a little bit, what does that tournament mean to this program?
Well, it's a good fundraiser for one thing. We get to see a lot of different schools that come in and play. Some of our conference schools go, but we have 22 teams. We've got teams coming in from Minnesota. We've got teams coming in from Missouri, Kansas, then of course some Texas teams, Oklahoma teams. We go from Kingsville on the south to Minnesota on the north, so I guess that's a pretty good coverage. But the women's tournament usually runs from about 18 to 21 teams or so. So like I said, it's a good fundraiser for us. Mike Fish up at Tanglewood, he does a great job helping us out with the tournament and everything. So it's a good thing for our girls to go and participate in.
Talk about the guys tournament last week. They made that strong run at the end. They've had some good success up there winning the tournament last year. What does the familiarity of the course and getting to know it mean for them?
Well, it helps a little bit. Of course, we host the tournament there, but we've played up there twice this year. So, as far as that goes, it's not like some of the schools that get to play on the course that's right next door to them or something. So we have to drive 77 miles to a home tournament. So we're not really up there that much. We'll play our practice round Sunday again, so that'll give us 3 times up there, and that'll be 2 more times than the other team. So, it's kind of moot there, but you just have to, anytime you go to a tournament, you just got to play the course. So you've got to see what's there and then go from there.
You as a golf coach, you get kind of a nicer advantage than a lot of other sports. You get to see, your conference rivals, pretty often. Some of them you see every couple of weeks or so. The chance to be able to see all of the different teams in the conference, how does that help when we get ready for postseason?
Well, it helps in some ways, but again, when you get down to it, you can't really look at playing the other team, because then you get caught up in, I've got to do this or do that. They made a birdie, I've got to make a birdie, and when you do that, sometimes you get yourself out of whack. So what we stress is play the golf course, and that you've got 18 holes, so you're playing 18 mini tournaments, 18 one-hole tournaments. Try to win as many of them as you can, and then we'll look at the score and see how we came out against everyone else at the end.
When you kind of compare, looking ahead towards when you kind of compare this conference compared to some of the, you mentioned you see a lot of different teams come in through here, a lot of different conferences. Where does the Lone Star Conference stack up?
I think pretty well. You look at Tarleton. Tarleton has been really playing well for the last, well, there's one of our golfers right now, Chelsea McCoy. But Tarleton's really, Jerry Doyle's done an excellent job there at Tarleton with his ladies, and they've been going to nationals here, I think, the last 5 years and been very successful. Jeff Ray up at Midwestern, he's started the program there just a few years ago, and they're really coming on. He's had these girls now, I think this is their junior year, senior year, and they're playing really well. Meredith Jameson out at West Texas does a great job. She's all 3 of those teams are ranked up pretty high. And who else we got there? Incarnate Word is Brad Martin down there, does a good job with them. And Alessandra and Mark Dominguez at A&M Kingsville, they've just come into the conference here in the last year or so, so they're building their program. And then out at Angelo State, they've got a good program going. My good friend Rick Goodwin up at Cameron, he's kind of short, but he does a good job with his players and everything. So we've got a good conference, and we can stack up pretty well with most everybody.